Let me introduce Rainbow Poogle and Woat taking over.
Hi guys!
Hey everyone!
Oh boy, well I am Rainbow Poogle. I am joined by my lovely friend Woat.
Always a pleasure.
And when High Spirit says interesting flags, oh boy, does he mean interesting flags. So...
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm gonna say, and when Poogle thinks that a set of flags is interesting, that generally means terrible things for everyone involved. I'm just going to go ahead and get that out there.
Not terrible things, but these flags were approved by both runners prior, and they have decided to put on a heck of a show. The main thing about these flags is that it is going to be a floor and entrance shuffle. So every time a runner walks into a dungeon, into a different floor, it's going to be something different, ideally, than what it normally is.
Yeah, it also features a couple of my favorite flags, the Random Weapons and Armor flag and the Item Magic flag. For those of you who are familiar with the original Final Fantasy, you know that there are certain items that cast spells. Thanks to the efforts of the dev team, they've now changed it so that those items can cast completely different spells. So, you might not have a defense sword that casts ruse, you might have a temper sword that casts temper.
Or you might have a nuke staff that casts nuke, or a stop hammer that casts stop.
Fortunately, the items are going to be marked in such a way where we can know what spell they have. The Random Weapons and Armor flag means that we might be able to buy them in stores, so who knows, this might be okay because both runners might have cheap nuke staffs off the bat.
We can always hope anyway, especially because the scaling for this set of flags is a little silly. Prices, enemy stats, and boss stats can be anywhere from 20% to 500%.
Fortunately, XP gain is 5 times, and gold gain is maxed out, so the runners at least gave themselves that much, and they cranked down the encounter rate some to compensate.
On top of that, the encounter rates for both the overworld and the dungeon have been brought down to about 2/3 for overworld and about 1/3 for dungeons, a little more. So, ideally they won't be running into as many monsters. Speaking of running into monsters, though, you want to talk about the lovely trap tile shenanigans that might be in store?
Oh, yeah. So one of the other changes that the alpha includes nowadays is the trap tile shuffle, which I believe you're more familiar with exactly what changes, but basically all of the encounter tiles can have completely different encounters. I believe they have it flagged so that literally any valid encounter can be in a trap tile.
To my knowledge, that is exactly what goes on, and it is also random formations. So, you could end up running into one of the best experience encounters you could find of 3 eyes. Which if you can run into early, not fun.
Speaking of things they're going to run into early, though, we do have early bridge on, and they also opted to allow for unsafe pirates. For those of you who saw last year's tournament, you are aware of what unsafe pirates can mean. It could mean that the pirates could have something that just kills your party. Like, there are 9 pirates. If they all have something deadly, they're going to get deadly.
Death touch, stone touch, damage, poison, all of that lovely things. All viable. I think one of my favorites in coming across unsafe pirates has probably been the Thunder Pirates. Because, I mean, you've got Thunderdome. Aye, because you've got Thunderdome and then you've got Thunderdome.
Yeah. So, long story short, this is going to be exciting, and we are about to kick this sucker off.
And I, because I'm not leaving any of this up to chance, have a notebook next to me. So, as our runners run into what should be Canaria Castle, they have one of the Czardia Islands, or as we like to call them, the Czardia Islands, after our lovely, lovely members are.
Fortunately, it's one that actually has some chests in it, and that is a Sun Sword out the gate. I believe both runners opted to bring red mages, so that's going to be convenient.
We already see so far that we've got a Harm 2 sword, was it?
Yep, Arm 2
Ooh.
Sword.
White magic's a bit of a wash, but black magic level 1 has Quad X and Bane. And Warp. Warp being one of the most important spells for Floor and Entrance Shuffle. Because, sometimes you get into a spot where you really don't want to be.
Yeah. And, you know, that Quad X and Bane, like you were pointing out, that is going to be really convenient for both runners.
Because sometimes you gotta run into the pirates with only Bane, for example, or only Quad X, or... It's really not fun, especially if they're unsafe. But sometimes that's a gamble that you have to make.
Absolutely.
Thank you, chat. Thunder Pirates? More like Thunder Pirates, am I right? Yes, you are. I greatly appreciate that. That pun is amazing, and you're awesome.
Alright, so what do you think we're going to see up in Topher? Or TOF?
Well, I do remember hearing Nitz, who is one of our fantastic developers on this, that 3 out of the first 4 locations that you can go to, Canaria Castle, Topher, Dwarves, etc., are supposed to be safe-ish. So, there should be at least... We found the Czardia Islands in the castle, so that was one safe location. There should be one safe location between Topher and Dwarves left, so at least one place they'll find something.
And it looks like Crescent Lake. So, we'll get to see one of the other flags that our runners opted to go with today here in a sec.
And we won't spoil that for you. We'll let you guys see that for yourselves when it gets to it. It'll be pretty obvious.
Ooh, dragon armor for sale. It's a shame no one brought a knight. But that is a fast axe.
That's a pretty
That's
cheap fast axe, too.
Yeah. That...
Ooh. Do you see what I see?
I saw a fade.
Life 2 and Fade are both level 6.
Yeah, I missed the life too. Anyway, here's some confused old men. One of them has a key item. They don't know who it is. And by they, I mean the old men.
I do like the lovely shade of pink they have, though.
I mean, I think that's the consequence of the color palette. One of the conveniences the developers added to this randomizer... Oh, look, it's the ship. One of the conveniences they added to the randomizer is the ability to... well, not the ability. They changed it so that when you have floor shuffle on, the color palette of wherever you are matches where you went in. So, because that was Temple of Fiends, the color palette for Crescent Lake, it matches Temple of Fiends.
Looks like Edgeworth is gonna go save and take that ship on a bit of a trip.
I mean,
Which is-
it's... Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I mean, it's the more convenient option. Your encounter rate's lower on the open ocean. The encounters are more lucrative in terms of what you get out of them. And you don't run the risk of getting nuked by imps.
Well, we've found what Provoca is. It is Lupa Lupa Lands. I would not be surprised if Ed went and checked the magic shops just to see what he can't get.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good idea to check this. And, well, no, he does have a white mage and a black mage, and with these 500 times scaling, it's not out of the question they might have a few level 8 casts by the end.
Oh, but that's exit level 8. That is... Agreed, Allie. That's a bit of a rip. That's... Oh, dear. Exit is one of those spells that you really want to see early, especially in these flag set.
Yeah, now, the nice thing is, with this ship in hand, it'll be easy to go check the 2 spots at Elfland. You know, once they're done checking Matoya. Who is... Was that floor 2 of Earth?
Oh, I didn't say... Zarwin announced so fast I was unable to catch what Matoya's cave was, but it looks like he just decides to leave. So,
Yeah.
it could not have been some place he wanted to go into. Let's see what it is. It is... Ooh, I love the shade of that. Matoya's cave, whatever ends up there, is the really nice shade of purple.
It really is. Like, you don't think about how pretty Matoya's cave is just because you're in and out so fast.
It's really nice. Anything that ends up in Melman's also has a really nice, like, red and yellow color palette. Like, I think mermaids ending up in Melman is probably one of my favorite spots. It's just, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, now those turned down dungeon encounter rates, definitely helpful right now. Because they're letting Edgeworth here go ahead and dip into this cave and see what he can see.
I suppose I should attempt to keep, Ooh, gold bracelet's nice. Ambushing ogres is not. Oh, goodness!
In all fairness, I don't think either of them picked up much in the way of armor. Oh, look!
That's important. That is one, a gold bracelet, which is nice, but that is, oh no.
That is a sign that we're probably about to go on a world-spanning adventure, everyone.
Edgeworth's black mage is dead, which means he's gotta run this out. Oh dear.
I mean, the bright side is he knows the upper right-hand corner doesn't have any value in it, so if he has to come back in here, he knows he can just go get the canal.
Looks like Dwarf Cave on the side of Czar end up being Onrak.
Yeah, I was focused on whether or not Edgeworth was going to make it out, so I'm glad you were paying attention to that. I saw it was a town.
Very autumn Onrak. Very nice looking.
Oh, yeah. So one of the other flags that's turned on is the NPC shuffle. So that means that Oxiel is not necessarily at the ferry, almost certainly not at the ferry. It's going to be somewhere. And Oxiel does still lock whatever is below Onrak, which isn't necessarily the Sea Shrine, just something that you need a staircase to get to.
I've seen it be Topher.
I've once saw it lead to the cube floor, which blocked, I want to say, the Mystic Key. I don't know. It was back when they were still testing the sanity checks.
Oh dear, don't remind me. I remember, so I ended up starting to learn the randomizer fully while they were doing those sanity checks. I had to learn all the dungeons by floor.
And this is why we love you, Poogle. Oh, hey, Elfland Castle. No, it's Corneria Castle is in Elfland.
Speaking of the Oxiel.
Well, there's the Oxiel. That mystery has been resolved.
Belsin, Crazy Old Man. Was that the castle or is that?
No, the castle is...
Gaia. So we found 3 towns so far. We found Onrak, we found Gaia, and we have found Canaria to an extent. Canaria will always be the first town that you run into, because, well, that's just another sanity check.
Well, on the bright side, cat claws are easily accessible, so if they have issues finding any other weapons but do find the tail, that's at least an option to back up that black belt.
Those are really cheap houses. That's really nice.
That is extremely nice. Houses for the unfamiliar are an item that both allows you to save your game and fully restores your MP. Well, spell charges, because we're Vancian in this game.
I guess.
No, I mean, we're totally Vancian. There are spell charges.
Wolves have... No, wolves just hit and kill things. It's not Death Touch. I thought it was Death Touch for a second.
No, it's just 500%. This is what 500% does to people.
Bane! So, Edgeworth has the canal. Czar does not.
Yeah, Czar backed out of that earth floor in Matoya.
So... Alright, so I suppose with the locations of places, I'm going to put whatever the background is where they entered from, because otherwise it's not going to make much sense.
Yeah, that's usually what I do when I have to track this crap.
I haven't had to track this because I've mostly been playing these. That's why I have a system of write down everything. Look, actually, though. Meridian, one of our other development team members actually wrote a website tracker for this. It is really nice. If anyone wants to try these shenanigans and doesn't want to forget writing things down, we have resources for this.
Absolutely. Oh no, are either of them thinking of checking the Marsh Cave location? I know it's not going to be Marsh Cave, but I still dread the place.
They could also be checking Northwest Castle. Now,
That's-
another... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I think you're about to say what I was about to say.
About how you could technically walk down?
Yeah, because didn't they also check off the flags that enable the walkable road between Northwest and Dwarves?
Was that Lich? Or was that Vampire Flare?
That's Lich.
That's Lich. We found a fiend already, everyone! It is Lich in Northwest Castle! Yes, our runners can run from Canaria Castle all the way to... Oh my god, Edge.
I forgot that they hadn't actually crossed any of the bridges yet.
I forgot too! No, I think, oh, yeah, you're right, you're completely right. Oh my goodness.
Because, yeah, they found the chest in whatever, in Temple of Fiend's location, or the ship in Temple of Fiend's location, so they haven't had to walk anywhere yet.
Ordeals is at Marsh? That's nice.
Yeah, and it's free access, so... Zara's at least going to try and see if he can get through the maze quickly.
Well, he does have warp, and... Oh, Ordeals is not incentivized, but it will give him some information. Oh god, Cure 2 and Heal 3 at level 7, as well as Quake... No! Brax at level 7. That makes me
Rest
really
in
sad.
peace, Braxstrats.
Looks like we've got our first shuffled trap tile, which is originally the Nightmare trap tile.
Correction. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead and finish what you were saying, and I'll... yeah, I was gonna say, that's actually our second. The Earth tile on floor 2 of Earth Cave was a shark.
I forget that's there. I don't normally dive into there.
Meanwhile, look, Poogle, your ladies.
It's my ladies, and this is a great find from Edge because the slab chest in here is incentivized. So, what is it gonna give us? It's gonna give us the floater!
Rest in peace, your ears.
I'm allowed to be excited about that.
Yeah, no, the floater is going to open things up a lot. I mean, they were already opened up, but now they'll be opened up even faster. Okay, I know there's been talk of this, but has there been any effort toward
Oh no.
adding a dock near the desert? Oh God! Normally, the encounter Zara's facing would have been the zombie dragons. That was Poogle's least favorite encounter.
That is the vampire whiz-vamp encounter that you run into in Sky 4th floor, potentially, or, more infamously, the air floor in the Temple of Fiends Revisited. It's ripped more runs than I would like to admit.
I said that we needed to be wary of Marsh Cave, and I'm glad to say I was vindicated. But yeah, I know there's been talk...
Yeah, that was vindicated.
I know there's been talk of maybe adding a dock south of the desert to open progression, or at least the extended open progression flags. Do you know if that's actually been done yet?
For the floater.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I know there is a dock south of Mirage, so you don't have to floater to get there, but I don't remember if you can use just the ship to get the floater itself.
I'll go check.
Sounds good to me. And then we've got Edge heading down to the mermaids, and he is going to get his floater very shortly. Oh no, Edge has his floater. He's going to leave.
Yeah, no, they have access to the airship right now, or Zar has access to the airship right now. Or not Zar, Edgeworth. Yeah, because he has the floater, and that is definitely a thing extended open progression allows for now.
In which case, once he's done here, he can... And he is able to get there because he got the canal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Czar still needs to dive both that Earth Cave floor and mermaids.
Wouldn't surprise me if he's heading his way back right now.
Yeah, and I see chat was informing us of the situation while I was looking it up, but...
Thank you, Falconic! So, we've got Edge still going through ordeals, which has a pro ring, and ooh, and a healed suit gauntlet, that's nice. But aside from that, not much of use.
That's still pretty solid.
I'm waiting for his reaction to the trap tile, though, because that's gonna be funny. He's gonna at least equip something he can equip, and... oh no. Is he gonna go, or is he just gonna leave? No, he's gonna go look through it.
Now, he at least healed up first, and he is going to run away.
Mwahaha, at least he's out. Because that is a bad encounter when you're supposed to get to it. When they're getting to it is criminally low levels. Like, I could see maybe going in there a few levels later with, like, if they find a Harm 4 sword, or another equivalent like Fire 3, etc., to go and kill them. But now, no thank you.
Yeah. I was going to say, to address the observations being made in chat, and I see Ali beat me to it, if you do want to play around with the flags that these runners are using, you can just put an alpha dot in front of FinalFantasyRandomizer.com, and that will take you to the alpha site where all these features are in testing.
I don't know why you would, because both of our runners are crazy for doing this. I will gladly put myself in the same vein as them, because I will do this myself, but if you wish to roll a bunch of shenanigans, as I like to put, for yourself, by all means, go ahead. Oh my gosh, the bats.
Yeah, I was going to say, though, this is actually something we didn't see, because Edgeworth had to run out of there with the canal, so he doesn't actually know what's below here, and it is the Agama floor.
I think Zara's banking on being able to warp out if he needs.
I mean, this is a healthy number of chests and a relatively low number of encounters because of all the lava tiles.
That is fair.
And I'm guessing that Edgeworth saw something in Melmond.
Oh, I didn't catch it.
I didn't either, but he was standing there for a good minute. So that makes me think he was writing down some key information.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got one of the Titan's tunnels leading to a volcano floor. So technically they're both in the volcano. Ooh! Zar has found the slab, and Edge
Edgeworth
has found...
found Astos.
Mm-hmm. Like that was in Titan's East?
Yeah, and it's a relatively easily accessible one. You have that lava right there to keep your encounter rate low. You know, not a bad thing to see. I do think, though, that Edgeworth may not realize he has floater access.
I don't know if he has floater. Did Edgeworth go... Did Zar go down to the mermaids yet?
No, Zar hasn't, but Edgeworth has. But he's over in the Melmond area instead of going ahead and hitting the desert up.
Oh, no.
Oh, look! A branching tunnel. This is going to be...
Oh, look, it's the marsh cave.
Oh, that's not the bad part. The bad part is that there's probably 5 floors in either direction. That's how this thing likes to go.
Yep. Well, time to write down what's down here.
So North Marsh leads to a caldera, which leads to the ocean.
Which leads to Carrie.
Okay.
Do we think he's gonna go for it? He might.
His party's like level 5, I think, still. He might be going to try and get to the red dragon chest if he can pull it off.
Yeah, that looks like it's about... Red Dragon Chest is not incentivized. Okay, so Zara getting blocked by bats again. Oh my goodness. Right. Incentivized locations for this flag set are the main NPCs, the fetch quest NPCs, the mermaids, the adamant chest in Sky Palace, and locked Canaria. The incentivized items that are not your normal incentivized items potentially are the mass immune and a ribbon. It's like Edge is going to go south now.
Yeah, I mean, all that was down there was some flame armor, and that is utterly useless to both runners.
Czardia is going to grab that slab again, and I'm not taking the trap tile. Something poisons Edgeworth, and I'm not quite sure what it was. But it's been South Marsh to Mirage 1, to that really awkward tiny piece of ice, to Earth 1, oh dear.
I told you! That's how these branches go most of the time. It's going to wind up being this long descent into nothingness. I'm just waiting for this branch to lead into C3, aka the entrance floor.
Please no. It's the Bridge of Destiny! So we've got 2 fiends in a single dungeon, which means we have 3 out of the 4 fiends already found. But
also, don't forget this is a forced war mech.
I was about to say, the caveat being that war mech is required. Which means that at the end of the Bridge of Destiny, before you get to Tiamat, not only could you potentially run into a war mech encounter, Bridge of Destiny, I love it. Not only will you run into a forced war mech encounter at the edge of the bridge, but you could still find the encounter over the war mech.
Okay, on Czar's side, Agama Floor led to the armory.
That's nice. Is that just checking the trap tiles?
I think he might be.
These are trap tiles you do not normally see, but they are there.
Oh look, we found the Excalibur. How valuable and useful.
Oh look, vendor trash. Looks like he's avoiding the trap tile that is right in front of that one chest. Curious to see if he goes for it. Nope. Maybe? Or is he just going down the floor?
I think he's just gonna keep going down.
I think we found the defense sword.
What spell does it have?
I believe it was heal 3.
That is a good sword to find. So with a heal 2 gauntlet and a heal 3 sword, that gives you plenty of good work.
Let's see if the lobsters are awful this time. Nope. Zara gets away from them before we find out if they are or not.
I mean, they're going to be awful. They're lobsters. That is the nature of a lobster, to be awful. Plus, they're 500% lobsters. Did you catch which floor that was of C?
Oh gosh. Chest floor leading to Kraken, I believe.
Okay, so Sharknado floor.
Yes, I believe it was the Sharknado floor. And Zara is going to leave. Which would not surprise me if he was writing that stuff down and to come back later. But we do know that that doesn't lead to anything that we know of yet. We have found 3 of the 4 fiends. Lich was in Northwest Castle, Carrie was the north branch of Marsh, which is an Earth Cave, and Tiamat is the south branch of Marsh, which is still an Earth Cave.
Yeah, no, Earth Cave is where all of the fun is.
Including a Quad X helm.
Yeah, I was about to say, a Quad X helmet. Now, Quad X, for those of you who are as big a pack of nerds as I am, you might know as the spell Power Word Kill in D&D terms.
I know he had enough charges to that, but I disagree with Edgeworth using those 2 warp charges on force he could easily run away from.
I mean, he's got a white mage and a black mage alive. Why take chances?
Zar? Oh, okay.
Zar, sorry.
I was about to say, Zar, what are you doing? You don't have that translated yet. And he's getting the bad news that exit is level 8. But I was about to say, Zar, you don't have the slab translated yet. You can't go to the Luba guy.
Yeah, and Edgeworth, meanwhile, heading back to Canaria to revive his party, hopefully going to realize that those extended flags are still on, and that he can go claim his airship anytime he wants.
Now, all we're waiting on at this point is for Czardia to get down to the mermaids and get his floater himself. Because he's got the slab, he cleared that out of Matoya's cave. So that means that 2 key items were down there. And possibly more, considering that there is 1 chest he left in the armory, which is the trap child chest.
Yeah, I definitely think, like, well, the armory is pretty far down there, and he had already checked a lot of chests, but I have a feeling that Edgeworth is probably, when he gets around to going down there, going to check that tile too, based on how he was acting in Earth Cave.
And considering he's going to have a few more levels, is he going to go do it? Is he going to go get his floater? He might be going to Crescent Lake, though. Hopefully he'll remember that he can get his floater at this point in time. Is Zara's going back to, I think, Onrak, which was in Dwarves.
Yeah, and that's going to take him to Mermaids, so he'll be getting his floater soon.
We still haven't seen what's in Melmond yet. I don't recall if Edgeworth just left and entered, or if he just...
I'm pretty sure he left and entered, because he was standing there facing toward it. Actually, wait, if he...
I'm gonna go dig up his VOD and see what happened.
Alright, while you are doing that, I'll keep things going. We have unrunnable trolls. That's very accurate to life on the internet.
That's probably also gonna prevent a pop run from happening.
Well, they at least have low enough HP to be able to just be able to quad X them, so that's nice.
Oh, that's pretty swell. See if I can find out what Edge might have ran into as far as it's concerned. Melmond would have been about here.
Yeah. So Edge is going to continue limping his way toward Crescent Lake, the Crescent Lake entrance, to see what's here. And it is the first floor of Bahamut. But what is this going to lead to? Oh, Sky 1.
Now it's Sky
And-
2 that's the incentivized floor here, so.
Yeah, because it's the adamant spot that's incentivized, correct?
That is correct. Oh,
And
is he gonna
eyes-
try eye grinding, maybe?
Eyes have over 300 HP.
Oh, the, Melmond is the vampire floor.
Ah!
So, we cannot currently get into that yet, because we have no rod. However, that does mean we found a mini-boss, so to speak.
Alright, so I doesn't have that much HP above 300. It looked like it was maybe 350, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Oh.
And if we can ever find the Elf Prince, we have his herb.
And our first ribbon.
Now that ribbon is nice to see.
Is Zar going for it? I think Zar's going for Lich. Zar's going for Lich.
Yeah, I
We
think
are-
he's been... Go ahead.
We are about half an hour in, and Zara's gonna go try and get his first famed. Oh my god, Zar, no. Are you... Okay. It looked like he was about to attempt to Bane Lich, and it got me really concerned. Though he does have a decent set of swords on his Red Wizard, so... And he found an Invis 2 gauntlet. That's a really nice set of gear so far.
That's kind of vanilla. It is a spell that you normally find an item that casts it. Oh, look! Marsh Cave. Again.
Did we see where Edge entered from?
Yes, this is Crescent Lake.
Okay.
And
Oh,
something
no,
got
Zar!
mine.
Arachnids.
Okay, so between the mucks, the scums, and the arachnids, they have glare, glance, and squint.
and Blizzard and Stinger. That's mean and ooh.
Friends don't let friends.
Hmm?
I was gonna say, friends don't let friends dive Earth Cave. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say that Edge is taking advantage of something that in either the normal randomizer or even in the normal game, not many people actually take advantage of. The 3 chests on this floor are normally just missed completely because they correspond to chests on the upper floor of Marsh. However, if if you do not know where the other floor of Marsh is, getting 2 of those 3 chests, as the left and the middle chests are different, but the middle and the right are the same, getting those allows you to get the items that you normally would not have.
So, would you call that a veteran move?
I would call it a veteran move, and at about 31 minutes in, Zar has gotten down Lich and has taken his first fiend down. Now, would you like to explain why we were cackling at what Edgeworth came across?
So, one of the flags that the runners turned on for the sake of entertainment is the Sky 4 Shuffle, which moves where the teleporter locations are for Sky 4. Normally it's kind of a Lost Woods type of situation where you have to know, okay, I gotta go to the right and 2 up, or to the left and 2 down, or whatever, to get to the other teleporter to move on to Tiamat's floor. With the Shuffle on, the teleporter can be anywhere in the maze, and you have to canvas the whole area. Edgeworth hates this flag.
Edgeworth absolutely despises this flag.
The teleporter was literally a knight's move away from where you go in. And did Edge just get wiped on the bottom of Marsh?
He left. He had gotten one of his party members killed to the vampires in Mirage 2.
Okay, so
in
he
which
just...
case, he decided to leave, which means he does not have the second ribbon, and I believe that means he does not have the herb as well, or...
Right. That was also down there.
Alright.
There are a lot of shallow caves somewhere in this seed.
Probably the Czardia Islands.
Probably.
So Zar is going to dive down into Melman's, which is the vampire floor, and see what this couple of chests has, and possibly go and kill the vampire as well. Is Edge gonna go do it?
Oh, hopefully he notices the dock. Like, I'm hoping he remembers that there's a dock here.
And Edgeworth has his floater. See where this takes him. Yeah.
Oh, I think Zar did pick up his floater. We forgot to mark it.
Alright. Case checking Czardia, which is Titan's east, and it's probably then gonna go check Titan's west and see what that has.
Yeah, because he's already checked everything else on this continent, so...
It's Titan's west.
Okay, then!
Climactic. When is he gonna unstone his party, is my question. Is he still running around with 2 stone members, or is that in that dungeon as well?
That was in that dungeon as well. He's fine now. Oh, hey, look, it's Melman.
Having a lovely, lovely autumn hue to it.
I'd say the color scheme is downright smoldering.
Oh my gosh. Wow, you're really on fire with these puns, aren't you, Out?
You know you lava them.
Touche. I got nothing. Alright, we've got really, really cheap opal bracelets for 5k. That's incredible.
And Edgeworth is immediately going to pick those up for everyone.
Would not surprise me.
Well, I mean, opal's what? 24 absorb?
Probably?
Somewhere close to there. It's like either 18 or 24, somewhere in that neighborhood. High enough to where, like, he's not going to be... He's going to want that on his black belt for a good chunk of this seed. 33 absorb, yeah.
Looks like Zara is going to head into Earth Cave himself and grab the lovely, lovely things in here. I would not be surprised if he went to go and kill Carrie while he's here. Probably not Wormack, but definitely Carrie.
Yeah, considering he went for Lich when he did, I imagine that Czar is going to just go ahead and take things out when he gets the opportunity. Ice Cave is just a dead end.
One of the lovely Czardia Islands that is just nothing. Thank you, AliJabrap in chat. Opal is 34 Absorb. Gaia is Ice Cave. And looks like I'm just writing that down because he's sitting there waiting. And I will do the same. Now, Ice Cave is one of those special things in the randomizer where, due to the nature of all of the holes and all of the different ways to get down and up in Ice Cave is one of the only locations that is not randomized. If you find Ice Cave itself, not the top floor, not the second floor, but if you find that third floor of Ice Cave that Edge walked into, that's just going to be Ice Cave from there on out. Because that would be really confusing, falling down a hole and ending up in something else, and Cure 4 is at level 2 in a slot anyone can learn.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. That is going to give both runners a decent amount of Cure 4. And Nuke at level 2.
Yep. That is fantastic. That's really nice. Now, this is turning out to be a really knight-centric seed. Buyable Excaliburs, buyable Dragon Armor, buyable Cure 4 at level 2. Dang. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna go check the weapon shop first before going and killing pirates.
Yeah, there's still a decent number of magic weapons that are outstanding. So
there's a katana for 40k.
Oh yeah, we did also see buyable Aegis shields. I forgot about that.
Yep, for 25k. And we're not even gonna see what these pirates have, because Edge is just going to nuke them down and go away.
Yeah, and with the changes to fight RNG, he's almost certainly going to outturn them at this point.
Edge has acquired the Ottoman.
We haven't seen dwarves yet, have we?
We have not seen dwarves yet.
Yeah.
You can buy the Quad X helm.
And I think he probably will.
That's a super cheap Quad X helm. We still have also not seen our shop item. Which means that, by that logic, I believe our shop item has to be in Elfland?
Yeah, that's the only town I can't recall seeing yet that has an item shop.
Well, yes, but Melmond obviously does not, because it's Melmond.
Yeah, I think it's Melman and Lefane don't have item shops.
Sorry, please no. No, Caravan was checked, and it did not have it.
Yeah, so it's got to be Elfland.
Yeah, Zara's leaving. Zara's not going to go check Tiamat yet.
Yeah, not even Zar would... Okay. That problem has solved itself now.
Level 3 Saber and Fast, that's super nice.
Yeah.
So we've got for level 3 Blights, Magic, ooh, Invis, 2 and Ruse. Again, another great spell for a knight.
Yeah, and that's in a knight learnable spot to boot.
Well, as nice as it is, we will not be seeing it today. At least, not the night anyway. Level 4's got for us life, so that's nice. You can get it on both of his characters. Where's Zar heading off to? Zara's heading off to get a splitter.
Yeah, he remembers out right off the bat that airship is a thing.
And he's gonna get to wherever Crescent Lake ends up leading him. Oh wow. Hi, bottle. For 3k. So Edgeworth now has the bottle.
Yeah.
Saber's shirt for 1. Wow.
Yeah, that is very convenient. Saber is the spell that the Power Gauntlet normally casts, for those who are unaware.
And considering that Saber and Fast were both on the same level, oh my god, Edge, why?
No, Edge walked out of there, and I think he took about 3 steps and realized, wait a minute. That's a good sword for a red mage to have.
Now I'm just hoping they don't find the tail. Because if he doesn't find the tail, he can't promote. And if he can't promote, he can't use the sword that should go in the trash.
I mean, he also already has the sun sword, so there's that.
Yeah. And he's only got one red mage. Oh, there's Matoya. Let's see what we are rating Matoya's stuff. It is not much.
Yeah, the money's nice for Edgeworth.
Czar is going to get his airship. So. Alrighty, and looks like Czar's gonna go and start heading through some stuff. And he has found level 1 sky.
Yeah, we do know there's a ribbon in here. I think that's where we found the ribbon.
Ribbon and an herb.
Okay.
The second ribbon was somewhere.
Yeah, I'm drawing. I know that the second ribbon was somewhere in this dive. I couldn't remember if it was on this floor or like one of the deeper floors.
I thought it was in this room, actually.
I think it was in this room. I think it's that left-hand chest right there.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where the second ribbon is, and if Czar grabbed that one, which I believe he did.
Oh yeah, there's that there's that ribbon.
No, Czar only has one ribbon.
Yeah, I think the second ribbon was somewhere in the depths of Earth Cave.
That would make sense. Czar didn't really do much diving in there. Edgeworth, meanwhile, has found Czardia, which is in the small Czardia Islands, with the crown.
So
now,
would you say that that's the Czardia Islands?
Oh my god.
I'm helping.
I know, and it's fantastic. No, but... So one of the jokes that we had back when we were still alpha testing this... Ooh, nice density of chests in Sky 3. But when we were back, like, alpha testing this, we ended up coining the term the Czardia Special, which was when we didn't incentivize basically anything, and Czardia could give you anything he wanted. More often than not, it was a cabin. It was great.
I really question whether or not this game has broken y'all's sense of what's fun. Our Hydras do not have almost any HP.
Well, that's a nice change.
That's going to be really convenient on the Bridge of Destiny.
Yeah. What's also convenient is all of the vendors items that are going to be, well, not actually vendor items, but are going to be sold.
So,
wow.
was that both katanas in one room? Because I think that was both katanas in one room.
That was both katanas and an opal shield. And a rune sword. And a decent amount of cash. And the Q block. Wouldn't surprise me if Edgeworth checked the trap tile and then left.
Yeah, I think he may be deliberating whether to go ahead and go check that before he ducks out of here. And he's gonna opt to warp on out.
That's nice that the Q block isn't like 5 levels down though. It's just 1. So, looks like Edge might go and dive Matoya's cave further, which, if I'm remembering correctly, was decently large, had like volcano then sea then volcano, and had the slab in the top left-hand room of this area.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to lead him on to Armory, and I don't remember what was below Armory. I think that was a Sharknado floor below Armory.
It was either Sharknado floor before or after Armory. Now, this is something we haven't seen yet. We've not seen a bottom of Marsh dive. We don't know what's in these chests. So, on Czar's side, we're just not sure. Ooh, the frost walls were the problem prior, because these things were kind of gross. I think they had frost, I think they had something else. There's the frost.
Yeah, fortunately, thanks to a few things, he's at least got the HP and the magic defense to weather these a little bit better than before.
I'm curious as to when Czar is going to find his way to Provoca, because he's got 2 red mages and that's 2 nuke casts. Instead of him kind of trying to fight and bash his way through things.
Well, Elfland's going to be really nice for him too, because that's going to give him 3 life casters. And level 4 is one of those levels where, you know, red mages are still somewhat competitive with a pure mage type.
Life 2 being an impossibility, at least having life 1 in all 3 casters is kind of nice. Now, the very particular path that Edge is taking through a couple of these rooms is because of that some of these rooms have trap tiles in them. And if you didn't know about them, that they were there, you might just think, oh, that's convenient how I'm getting an encounter every single time. But some of these rooms do have particularly spiked trap tiles. For example, these 2 chests have Agama trap tiles, which have been turned into the really horrible whiz-mummy fight that you normally find in the bottom of Waterfall.
And the mummies have Blaze.
Oh. Make them more gross, why don't you?
I mean, is it really Final Fantasy Randomizer if the mummies aren't horribly abusive?
No, you get a point. You've got a very good point. Now, he is... oh. Not stuck with his white mage, well, his red mage, because he does have life casts. But I'm curious if he's going to use the other one on another party member just yet. Which... I'm not sure which one
he's bringing the black belt back up.
2-man black belt grind, maybe?
I mean, it's one of those things, I think he's still trying to see if he can find a spike tile that's a black belt friendly encounter like the Agama.
Now, I hope Czardia remembers that he does have the slab. Because he can get it translated here, and he knows where Lefane is.
Oh, Lefane is super convenient for once.
Yeah, seriously. So, if and when he goes back to Provoca, which is where Lefane was located, then we get another item. This trap tile in front of the chest we didn't see before is indeed a Frostwolf trap tile. And it's a heal pot. So, Zara skipping it was completely legitimate.
Yeah, it's still a bit of a gamble to go that route, though, just because, especially in Floor Shuffle, remembering where you skip chests and how to get back to them can be a bit daunting.
It's why when I recommend taking meticulous notes, I'm not joking. Like, there is a lot of stuff that can go wrong if you forget things in Floor Shuffle.
Yeah, it looks like Edgeworth skipped out on about 4 chests in Armory, kind of the more remote ones. I think he just wants to see what's at the bottom of this dungeon first.
I don't think we saw the bottom of this dungeon yet.
We didn't. Czar had to also withdraw.
Alright, so that means we've got... Alright, so this is Sharknado floor.
Yeah, that's right. Czar got down to Sharknado, and he was, I think, only had 2 party members up, and so he opted to pull out being at, like, level 7.
Sleep shirt.
You saw him stop for a moment and think about it, and then Edgeworth realized, wait, sleep is a terrible spell.
Ew! The lobsters of Cure 4!
Well, yes. What else would you expect lobsters to do? Something that doesn't make everyone hate life?
You're not wrong. I can still be disgusted. Like, I can still be disgusted at how awful lobsters are.
If it makes you feel any better, at my job we occasionally find collections that have human hair in them. from like the 19th century. Working in an archive is an adventure. And that adventure has completely, like, messed up my sense of what is disgusting.
Well, let's find out what Togeman has for us today. It's the loot! It's one of the required items we need! Oh, hey, look, it's another trash sword. But Czar has gone and translated his slab and turned in it for the loots. Now, the loot is one of the absolutely required items to beat the game, as the loot has Temple of Fiends access with it. In order to get past the plate behind the Phantom, you have to have the loots. Looks like... Ooh! Looks like Czar is going to do the warp trick. To find... absolutely nothing. So.
Yeah. So, the thing about warp is it just takes you back to the last location you were in, regardless of whether or not that location is somewhere you normally could stand.
Oh, that's not good. Those were the things with glance, or glare, or whatever the stone thing was.
I'm just trying to figure out what floor Edgeworth got dumped onto after Sharknado.
I didn't see it. I'm not sure he did. I'm not sure he did. He got a trap tile of 6 man cats, and I think he's leaving.
No, he's totally leaving, but...
No, I don't...
Oh, and he's out of nuke charges and can't go after these peeds.
But the peeds are just gonna run away. Because...
20% morale.
I think he got the trap tile of 6 man cats, and then left. Because all of his party died.
He definitely took a staircase, the stairs out of Sharknado. And yeah, I think High Spirits is right. I think that was the top, the north side of that empty floor, after you take the stairs, leading up to the stairs that take you all the way back down to Kraken. Sea Shrine is such a pain to remember how to get around in.
So that dungeon is just there. Cool. Oh, that's a trap tile that's actually kind of nice to see. We've got a trap tile, oh dear, of Hydra and Nacho. Well, looks like we're about to get our answer, because Edge looks like he's going back. Possibly. Maybe. I lied. He's not going back.
He may be deciding it's time to start clearing some fiends out. Or he's going to continue going other places.
It looks like he's gonna go dive in here, because I don't remember seeing what was in here before. Oh, no,
this is Astos. Yeah.
Gonna go turn to the crown. Let's see what the crown gives us today. It's the key. Ooh. So Edgeworth has the key, and Czar has the loot. And it looks like Ice Cave was kind of a wash.
But at least he can leave.
That is fair. Now, Ed is gonna go check these 3 key lock chests in Astos Castle. Interesting thing that we've not seen yet, we don't know where Temple of Fiends yet is.
Yeah, we haven't seen Temple of Fiends. We haven't seen the, Oh god, Poogle, I just had a terrible thought.
Shoot!
What if Fiends is at the bottom of that long cave that Edgeworth was just in?
Oh dear.
I mean, he's checked all the Czardia locations. About the only places left are Onrak, the Waterfall, Mirage, and Ordeals in Lefane. And there's still...
Lock and Rodlock. Could be behind the Rodlock. The Rodlock was only a single floor.
Ah, true.
Fiends, from what I've experienced at Temple of Fiends, it's not usually super, super down. Like Falconic saying in chat, Temple of Fiends Revisited is almost always the 2nd floor of a dungeon, so it would not surprise me if it was Rodlocked behind the Vampire.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's anything in the logic that forces that, and I'm sure one of the devs could Well, there's that raw we were looking for. I'm sure one of the devs could fill in the blanks on that front.
And, oh, I like this play. Edgeworth is now checking an incentivized chest in Canaria.
That's right, I forgot that the TNT chest is also incentivized.
Well, Czar, in the meantime, Edge finds the ruby, which we know is mostly superfluous, but we will hope that he goes and feeds the Titan.
No, they have Titan's Trove on, so they actually do get 4 more chests by feeding the Titan.
True, but we don't know if those will actually be of any use.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the Titan's going to get fed because, like, there's actually value behind the Titan.
Fair enough. Alright, let's see what is behind the Titan. We've got some gold, some more gold, some gold, and some more gold. We've also got Whizvamps on the side of Czardia, who is also part of the We Hate Whizvamps Club.
But they have such stylish red capes.
And murder!
I didn't say that the capes weren't red from blood. I just said they were stylish.
Hey, can I go ahead and read a donation real quick?
Yeah, shoot.
We got $75 from Ikban Mia, member of the Final Fantasy 1 community. Thanks for being awesome, RPG Chick. Thank you very much for that donation.
Yeah, that is awesome, Maya.
Yeah, Maya is one of our community members. He is fantastic. He was part of the league. He was part of the turn. Like, Maya is just a cool dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Czar now has the crown.
And Edgeworth is going to be able to check these chests here in North Marsh, which I believe is at Lefane.
Sounds about right.
But you know, even if like Temple of Fiends is at Onrak or Ordeals or Waterfall, that's still a pain because that's a long walk to get back and forth.
Not only is it a long walk to get back and forth, but you can't get to Waterfall without the canoe. You can get to Onrak via the ship if you absolutely have to, but Waterfall requires the canoe, which they don't have.
Yeah, I had actually completely forgotten. We have yet to find the canoe, in spite of on Edgeworth's stream him having a split for the canoe that he has yet to trigger, no matter how much he's gotten done otherwise.
Looks like he's gonna go and make the Ordeals dive, though.
I mean, he doesn't have the chimes, so Mirage is out. So at this point, his options are go clear Fiends, go try and get to the bottom of that dungeon. Oh, yeah, it's Matoya's cave. That's where he was.
Gosh. He also can't get to Temple of Fiends without the ship, without the canoe.
Yeah, Ordeals. I forgot that river's there, as apparently did he. So, our progression, it seems like it's at the bottom of Matoya's cave. That's really the only location that they can go to at this point.
Ooh, okay, Pirates of Stone Touch. There is one other location, which is the one that I had to go check on Edge's stream what he found. The rod block is at Melmond.
That's right. Oh, but we also have access to the 3 key lock chests at the bottom of Marsh.
Well, yeah, but that's much less enticing.
Oh, it's incredibly less enticing. It's a terrible idea in almost every conceivable way, but it is in logic.
Another thing we haven't found is we have not found the Elf Prince. And that's another 4 chests, and the herb to be turned in. However, Edgeworth does not have that herb because Edgeworth got murdered and had to leave that dungeon.
Yeah, but he knows where it is, and he has to go back because isn't that the double fiend dungeon at Earth Cave?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so...
And in that same room is another ribbon.
Oh! Holy crap! Here's something Czar didn't see. Look at what the eye fight is.
Oh dear. Oh, that is...
So,
I'm saying oh dear because green Medusas have a lot of hits normally, but...
if you can kill them, that is money in the bank.
They've got Alright, I saw the hits of
Okay,
Nuke.
they just rolled. They had to have rolled minimum strength. That was 7 hits for 20 damage on that black belt.
That's incredibly silly. Alright, so what I did see from those hit points was that Green Medusas have somewhere between 379 and 384 hit points. Because there was a hit for 378, and there was a hit for 384. 384 hit killed them, 378 hit did not.
So you're looking at probably needing to burn a couple of nukes per.
Yeah, I'd say a nuke per the red mage and a nuke from the black mage would kill him.
But the flip side to that is a lot of experience, and you have a lot of nuke shots.
Green Medusas, or Gur Medusas, have, in just the entire game, one of the highest encounter to XP ratios that you will find. It is a fantastic encounter in Temple of Fiends Revisited if you need to get a couple levels and get in and out of there quickly, either via warp or exit, and is a great XP sink. Like, I think one of the only other better XP sinks is the, like, Vampire Wizmamp fight on the air floor. And no one wants to go all the way down there just for an XP grind.
Yeah, but as we just saw, Edgeworth now knows he can just fight those Medusas whenever he wants. And he is going to go check Onrak, I think.
I would think so, yeah.
Now, there's nothing else the ship gives him access to that it actually gives him access to without that canoe.
I'm surprised he didn't go and check the rod block at Melman's, because it looks like he wrote that down, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things he may just be, you know... He knows that... I'm trying to think of how I want to phrase this. He knows that Onrak is absolutely something that the canoe could be at this point, and it's a coin toss. And I think, knowing that he might have to make this long voyage anyway, he's just going to go ahead and do it. Because if the canoe's there... Okay, you know what? If the canoe's at Rod, then he's wasting his time.
Thing is, though, what I'm thinking could possibly be the answer. Rod blocks dwarves, Adamant gives canoe.
That would do it.
Because dwarves are incentivized. All NPCs and fetch NPCs are incentivized locations.
Flip side, though, Onrak could also lead to dwarves. Like, that... You know, I think he's just going ahead and flipping that coin and saying, let's just go ahead and do Onrak.
Let's check what it has. It's water. Ooh. It's also incentivized, though. Waterfall is indeed incentivized, which means, technically speaking, Robot could have canoe as well. And if Robot has canoe, it's kind of like doing the whole Seashine Waterfall play when if you're hoping Waterfall is Oxiel. Because you're hoping one is the location and the item to get into the other, so you don't have to reroute things. So, if this does have the canoe, this is a really nice play for Edgeworth.
Of course, this also depends on what got rolled to the spike tile.
Oh, ew, you've got a point. We haven't seen that one yet. Czar getting his hands on his key. Which currently means that Czar... I would put Czar slightly ahead at this point, if only for he has one of the fiends lit. He's killed the Earth Fiend. He has both the key and the loot.
Yeah, but Lich, if I recall correctly, that was a top floor deal, wasn't it?
Of which?
Well, wherever Lich was.
Lich was... I had this written down. Lich was in Northwest Castle, so yes, that was a top floor thing.
Yeah, so it's one of those things, he has a minor lead, but here's the trade-off. Edgeworth can just go back and farm those Medusas for days. If he can find a damage item, as High Spirits is pointing out in chat, and
So,
yeah, there's
Yeah, there's the canoe.
mm-hmm.
In which case, I would probably put Edgeworth slightly back into the lead just because he has that now. He can go check everything else.
So do you think he's going to go ahead and go check ordeals while he's in the neighborhood?
Yes, absolutely. Considering he can... Yes, he's still going to get encounters in the sea, but he's not going to get as many. He can go up, like, right next to ordeals, and has found Kraken. Kraken's in Waterfall. We found all 4 fiends.
Alright, and that means if Temple of Fiends is not at ordeals, it's at the bottom of Matoya.
Or the Rod Block.
Okay, or the Rod Block. Thank you for continuing to remind me that I keep forgetting about it.
Oh, it's just because it's the vampire, and I love making sure it dies horribly after everything with vamps have done to me. I'm a vindictive little son of a gun, I know. It's great.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say anything. I'm not judging you, mostly.
Much.
Meanwhile, Czar is on Carrie's floor, so he's probably going to go ahead and make a play on Carrie.
I can see that. Considering that neither of our runners have access to Brack. You cannot Bracken the Kraken. You could technically Bane the Kraken. Which might be Edge's plan?
I mean, there's a distinct possibility that this Kraken 1 is a utter and complete monster, because under same flags, Kraken 1 can be an utter and complete monster.
True, but he has level 1 Bane, level 2 Nuke. Oh gosh, Sea Snake's away. And Falconic pointing out in chat, yeah, Kraken could also just have 200 health and just slap it away with the Quad X.
It's one of those things like, if it has 200 health, it'll die to a nuke anyway, so I'd rather nuke it. Not take that chance that it has 301 health, but
That's
also hits like a truck.
I will say, Edgeworth's party is armed to the teeth as far as armor goes. Like, he's got the elbow bracelets, he's got a ribbon, he's got a pro ring. Hopefully Kraken just doesn't, like, come out with a Turn 1 Thunder or something.
Yeah. Putting Saber on having that Saber shirt on his black belt. Doesn't he have like 2 fast axes, so...
10 breaths. Edge is actually the one who rolled the seed because I didn't want to roll it, and we were not letting Czar roll it.
Yeah.
We don't want the seed taking 3 hours.
Yeah, now the bright side is we do now know where all the fiends are. The downside is we still have to... Oh! You know what other incentive location we haven't seen yet?
Shoot.
Not that I think we... No, Princess.
Well, that's Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is we haven't seen... Yeah. We haven't seen the Temple of Fiends, so we haven't seen what the Princess has.
That was a hit on the Black Mage for 32.
Okay, so Kraken 1, not a threat. Unless he got the one nuke in the pool.
Maybe.
Yeah, we're still missing the chime. We're still missing the cube, though I don't... Oh! Temple of Fiends could also be behind the cube.
It could be. Where was that cube block? I know it was only a couple floors down.
Oh, I am drawing a complete blank on where the cube block was. Was that at the bottom of Crescent Lake?
Might have been, yeah.
So this Kraken can't hit for anything, but also has a ludicrous amount of HP.
Well,
Welcome to 500 stats.
That's Edgeworth's first orb.
Mm-hmm.
As Czar is heading to kill Carrie. If this goes well, it would not surprise me if he took a stab at Tiamat. If he doesn't lose anyone here, I'd say he exits, pops a house down, and then goes back in.
Yeah, have you caught what level Czar's sitting at?
I have not. I think Edge is sitting at about...
He's sitting at about 20. Yeah, his black belt's at 20, and I think most of his party is around that as well.
We will have to find out then. As far as Czar... Carrie's being Carrie, honestly. I can't really say much about it. Alright, so things we have not found yet. We have not found Elfin Castle. We have not found the Dwarves. We have not found Temple of Fiends. So, any one of those locations could get us something.
Yeah, and 2 of those locations are going to be at the bottom of pretty extensive caves, I think. Because outside of Ordeals, we've got, what, the Q block and the Rod block. and the bottom of Matoya's that we still haven't seen.
That's second orb for Czar. Well, we've got the bottom of Matoya's cave. We've got the rod block, and we've got the key block. So, I want to wager, or at least what I would think is that probably either one of the empty Czardia islands or a Czardia island is at the bottom of the Matoya's cave, just because that would be the perfect level of annoying. And then we've got rod blocking, maybe Temple of Fiends or Dwarves, and then Q block in the other. That'd be my guess.
Question in chat, why is Edgeworth in a ship if he's already got the airship? Because he needed the ship to get to Onrak to get the canoe out of the waterfall cave there. Not waterfall at waterfall, but waterfall at Onrak.
Alright, we've got Edgeworth heading into Ordeals, which is the Sea Shrine split. Well, we found the other split at least. Let's see what this takes us. It's like Edge is gonna go right first, which gets him to the dwarves.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the other thing is, I think we've only seen one of the 3 dead ends from Czardia Island, so that accounts for everything that we haven't found
I
yet.
think we've seen 2, yes? Maybe?
Well, we've got 3... Okay, so... Beyond dwarves, we still have 3 terminal points of note. Elfland Castle, Temple of Fiends, and... What was the third one?
No, it was Elfin Castle
and Temple of Fiends, and then Dwarves was the third one that I'm thinking of. Yeah, and then... But we have 4 locations that we still don't know the bottom of.
I think we've only seen 2 of the 3 regular Czardia islands as well, and there's the third.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I forgot about one of the chest floors in Czardia, so... Alright. Then you were right.
So we are still missing one of the dead end Czardias then.
Yeah, so... Of the 3 locations we don't know the full extent of, one leads to TOF, one's going to lead to Elfland, and the last one is going to be a dead end. I'm personally pulling for Rod to lead to a dead end. But that's because I'm not a good person at all.
So Rod, dead end, Matoya, Elfland
Matoya
Castle.
Temple of Fiends.
Oh, that's just mean!
I'm going to apologize to High Spirits for pulling for the worst possible thing to happen during a marathon, but I think everyone will enjoy it.
And before Cubes and Keylocked Marsh. Which, at this point...
Oh yeah! That's
no,
right, we
at
haven't...
this... Oh my god, Hash Bandicoot makes a point. Matoya with the TNT, Dwarf with the cube locked over.
Okay, so here's the thought then. What on earth is at Mirage?
Oh
Like,
gosh, we don't have Chime.
Yeah, I don't actually remember what the last, whatchamacallit, dead end that we haven't seen yet is.
Alright, so... Still haven't seen what's in Mirage. And as far as key items, we're still missing TNT, and the tail and the cube. And the
Bahamut! Bahamut, that's who we haven't seen.
No, we found Bahamut.
Did we find Bahamut? Where was Bahamut? We found the top of Bahamut,
No,
we never
we
actually...
found the bottom.
Okay.
I don't remember where, but I remember seeing Czar run into it.
This is regular TOFR Falconic. Like, I'm pulling for the most evil thing that I can imagine.
So we've got Chime. I would say, Edgeworth is going to go to Mirage now, or whatever ends up being in a Mirage. Yeah, we're resetting out of the Ankylo fight. The Ankylo fight is terrifying. There's the other incentivized chest. This is the other incentivized chest that they're looking for. This has got to be something. This has got to be either TNT, tail, or cube.
I'm just bothered by the fact that I can't think of what dead end we haven't seen yet. Oh wait! No, we've seen Titan's Tunnel. Never mind.
Zara's got his second ribbon. There's the TNT, so we do know where Dwarves is. However, Edgeworth has not gotten his loot yet, which I believe was the translated slab. So that'll be interesting to see if he remembers to go do that.
Yeah, I believe you're right. Fortunately, getting that Lupa is not nearly as painful. So
Zara's going and doing Helocked Marsh.
I mean...
Oh, there's the last
yeah?
one, yeah.
Okay, so that was the dead end I forgot about.
It's always hard to keep track of which Czardia island they found, which they haven't. It's silly. Goes the tail.
It's always in the last place you look.
That means out of the key items we have remaining, we're missing the cube. And if locations are incentivized, that they are, we have still not checked with Narek, and we still not checked with the Elf King, and the Princess, in which case we are still missing an incentivized ribbon, the Moss Immune, and the cube. The third ribbon, we are missing the third ribbon, the cube, and the Masa, which means that one of them's going to be with Narek, one of them's going to be with the Princess, and one of them's going to be with the Elf King.
In before the cube lock leads the Princess, who
and the Princess has the Masa?
Yeah.
Well, we're about to find out what this rod lock leads to. I'm kind of rooting for Temple of Fiends Revisited just because...
you're a nice person.
Well, also because Temple of Fiends in the Melman color palette is really pretty.
Okay, that's
like,
it. I will
really
accept this argument.
It's like mermaids here is also really, really pretty. Like, this is just a really nice color palette to see on other places. Because it just ends up being this really nice, like, sunset orange, yellow, gold. And it's just really nice.
Can I just say that I appreciate that encounters that happen in Melmond have the desert background?
Well, I mean, it's deserted and destroyed enough. Yes!
Yeah.
So
that is really pretty.
I just want everyone to appreciate this color palette. Whoops.
So I believe this does put Edgeworth in go mode. He knows where all the fiends are. He knows he doesn't need the cube.
That means cube probably leads to TNT, right? Like, TNT probably leads to cube, which leads to Masa, probably. Masa or ribbon, because Sarah's gotta have something. However, Edgeworth also does not have his loot yet. So, he's still gotta go and turn in that... Well, you call it! Sarah has the Masa!
I need to refresh my, Cadger then.
So, as far as this goes now, we know where all four fiends are. We've gotten the Mosmian. Edgeworth does not have his loot yet, though, so he needs to go back to Lefane. Well, he needs to get it translated first, and then he needs to go to Lefane. Meanwhile, while we've been talking about all of this, Czardia has just been sitting in the bottom floor of Marsh with this fantastic 2-grow sharks into shark trap tile. So he's been grinding up levels on that point. Which means I've not yet checked what he has done with that. They've both got in. Edge has the robot. And is about to have Mr. Toga with the loot. So Edge is absolutely in go mode. He can just go and find the rest of the fiends, kill them, get into stuff, and leave.
So the question is, do we see a Grey Medusa grind out of, Edgeworth?
I'm not sure.
The answer is yes. Yes, we are.
We're curling back in ice.
There is no reason for him to be going into ice at this point, except he is about to kill himself a lot of Medusas.
Yeah, and Bahamut, I believe, was the bottom of Crescent Lake, which I think is where Czardia just was. Or was that? No, that was Marsh. Where was Bahamut then? I know we saw it. Oh wow, they did really roll low on their hit points on their attack. 3 hits for 3 damage from a Gurmedusa? That's like the dream.
They took a swing at Edge's black belt for like 7 hits and 20 damage.
The dream right there. So he's at about level 22, 23. What is Zara's levels then? Oh dear, Manticore's have glanced as well. So looks like Gurmedusas have about 380 health.
Yeah, that's what you estimated before, somewhere between 379 and 384.
It was between 378 and 384 at that point, so looks like they've got about 380.
Yeah. And, you know, this is good enough eating that, you know, Edgeworth isn't even concerned about, like, you know, getting the rest of his party taken out or whatever. He's just going to level them all up.
It's a decent strategy.
Okay, he's gonna try and get his party killed. Never mind.
Oh goodness, he's gonna try and get his party killed in the Iron Golems? I mean, that's not a bad strategy, but ew. And they've got over 750 health. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of health. Though I don't understand why he didn't take the opal bracelets off of the party members he wants dead first.
Probably didn't think about it. Not used to having everyone besides the black belt also have decent defense.
Oh wow, that's a lot of lot of experience. So looks like he's gonna go back in. Yeah, he's gonna do a bunch of level grinding in here. Zar, I'm not sure what he's up to. Did he? Okay, Zara's gonna go and turn in that bottle to the fairy.
Yeah, okay, so I think Edgeworth's plan is he can farm the iron golems with that black belt really easily. And he can put a fast axe and saber on, so he can very easily boost that black belt up to deal with whatever.
That makes sense. They just have a lot of HP.
Yeah, but once you get your black belt to a certain... Sorry about that. Once you have your black belt to a certain One Punch Man point, it's, you know, you don't care about that HP at a certain point.
That's fair. Zara's
Downside, the Iron Golems rolled low for their morale.
Zara's got his ruby. You think we're gonna go see him feed the Titan?
I think so. Zar's still missing just enough things to where he can't afford to leave those chests behind.
Main thing Zara is missing, then he's going to smack Melland. He's gonna go straight to find Temple of Fiends. He's got that rod and he's going straight in. But he's missing just enough. He's missing the canoe, unfortunately. He's going to need to take that ship over to Onrak.
Yeah, and he does need the canoe to get to Kraken, that's right.
That is the case. So it looks
Edgeworth.
like he's gonna go at least find Temple of Fiends, and he's gonna be able to get his Masa then, which will be nice.
Yeah, Edgeworth, meanwhile, trying to, I think, find somewhere to get his party killed.
No, at this point I think he's just gonna go after Fiends.
That's also possible. Although he... Oh no, you're right, he did shuffle the black belt back to the front.
Zohar716 chat saying, you'd have low morale too if you sat and watched 4 people march into your cave and farm your friends. Yeah, that's fair. That's incredibly accurate. Everyone say hi to the vampire!
Bye, vampire!
Which is down for Edgeworth. Both runners have 2 orbs apiece now.
Yeah. It's one of those things, like I said, with Lich's floor is one of the shorter floors as far as fiends go anyway. And with it being the top level of the location, you're not going to spend that much time in the effort.
I do like this play from Edgeworth because he knows both fiends are in this dungeon. So he can just go kill one, leave, come back and kill the other.
Absolutely, and he can house in between.
If he doesn't get glanced at by arachnids first, and Edgeworth only has 1 ribbon, he doesn't have 2. He dipped before being able to properly retrieve that 2nd ribbon and the herb. Zara's gonna be checking the locked chests in Temple of Fiends Revisited in the meantime, and that is not the worst trap tile I've seen today. That is a 2 troll trap tile.
Yeah, and trolls are very weak.
Oh my goodness. Zara has Fade on his White Mage and is actually being able to use it. Silly.
I mean, with the experience game that these runners are having, that's to be expected.
That is fair. Edge is gonna go down and kill Carrie. Using a couple of heal 2s to get his party back up to full health from the volcano lava, which unfortunately he has not tossed that Vorpal in like he should have. Carrie's gonna slow the party. Still gonna get over 500 damage in from Masa wielding black belts.
Question in chat, if iron golems are found in any vanilla encounter table, I believe they are a rare encounter on the air floor.
It's them and the rock golems, I believe, share an encounter, dual encounter. It's mean. And Zar has his Mazmune. And does not surprise me that he would have bought a Vorpal.
I mean, again, if you have 2 red mages, it's a good weapon to pick up.
You're not wrong. It just also belongs in better places. But anyway, my extreme personal bias aside, Edgeworth is leaving. He's gotten the 3rd fiend down, but he's leaving Earth.
He may be wanting to go restock.
I could see that then.
Also, with the level gain he's had, he may be remembering that he now can pick up some spells that he didn't have before. Or he is going back to pick up more levels.
Considering it's required Wormek, I don't blame him.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. Wormek, for the unaware, is on the same tier as the final boss gauntlet, including when it comes to skill shuffle. So, Wormek can pack just about anything that the Fiend Refights and Chaos have. On top of Wormek's already ridiculous stats.
What's he looking for, I wonder?
That is a really good question.
Well,
all right.
We have our Wormek sighting. We did not see a wild Wormek, but we now have the required one. And anything that Wormek has will be taken out of the pool for the other fiends to be able to utilize.
So if you're these runners, you're hoping...
no.
Oh no. Like, it's a mixed bag. On the one hand, you don't want to see Wormek having things because you have to deal with it. But the flip side, if you survive it, you know that none of the other fiends have it. So, fast is off the table, at least.
So is Fire too, though that's not one you really care about seeing on the fiends. But Wormek having fast is almost more terrifying than Chaos, to be honest. Not as terrifying as Kraken 2, though, because Kraken 2 having fast is just... why? Oh wow. Wormek's dead.
And Wormek has almost no HP.
So, looks like at this point, Zara's party's about level 25-26 as he goes into Tiamat.
So, let's see what Tiamat's got in store.
Hopefully no death touch this time. Looks like he's just gonna self-cast Ruse on the rest of his party members, which I agree with. 2 hits for 145 damage, not the worst thing in the world. As far as who's ahead in the moment, definitely Edgeworth, because he has his canoe. Zara does not, and Zara's gonna have to take his ship to Onrak in order to get the canoe. He can't fly over there. Let's see what this Tiamat's got. About 100 from the nuke roll. Alright, Tiamat's down. That is the 3rd orb lit for Czardia. However, he does have to go and find Kraken.
Yeah, that's right.
He has to go and get the canoe from Onrak, which he has to go shipwise to get. And I'm not sure he's going to think of that immediately.
Yeah, I will be surprised if he doesn't do something similar to Edgeworth. Try to go to Ordeals, only to realize that the canoe cuts him off.
Or he makes a liar out of both of us.
Turns out Czar is smarter than we gave him credit for.
Well, certainly smarter than us. In which case, if he decides to not level grinds and get his 4th orb first, he might end up pulling into the lead.
Speaking of level grinding, though, Edgeworth is taking the time to try and set up the
solo fighter grind.
Party wipe. Yep.
Yeah. Alright, that's 2 down. Oh, and stacking the wrong person. Might move the black mage all the way up. Or, nope. Yep, alright, he is definitely pulling the black mage up. And Zara's for the Titan! He's gonna check that these chests just have money, and not very much of it.
It's got about 2,000 gold. You know, that's enough to retire on.
Alright, Zara's got his Titan fed to really no avail. Zara, where are you going? Go get back in your ship. Need to go to Onrak. Go.
Alright. Edgeworth going to grind on these worms with his black belt.
They have, like, really little health, so I can see that. And they don't give really bad experience. They give pretty decent experience.
Yeah.
Oh, Zara's going and diving the bottom of Matoya. Oh no. Because this could very well be the last, empty Czardia Islands.
I'll go get my trombone.
Oh dear. He doesn't know he has to go to Onrak. You think once Edgeworth's done with his black belt grind, he's gonna go class change?
He might. I wasn't paying attention if he's checked the spells available in Gaia. But, you know, having access to level 8 charges on that white mage and black mage can't hurt. And I don't recall which slot Life 2 was in, but if it's a red wizard slot, he may also be looking toward that.
I think it was first slot level 7. Maybe? Level 6 or 7, it was the first slot of one of them.
It was slot 1 of level 6, because it shares a row with a Fade.
Right, okay. Considering that was Temple of Fiends and super early on, I'm not surprised I forgot about that. Edgeworth is gonna grind up some levels on his fighter, and by fighter I mean black belt because I can talk. Edge, meanwhile, is going back and checking those chests at the back of Volcano. Back there,
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things like, this is a rare situation where you get the airship. Well, I mean, it's a situation that the extended open progression creates, where you can have the airship but no canoe, and need to go to Onrak to get the canoe.
Which is exactly the circumstance right now.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. It may just be a situation where Czar is just,
Not thinking that the logic would make him do that, of all things.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, by the time you have the airship, he's got the airship, he's killed Kraken. It may be partially a little bit of muscle memory saying to himself, well, I've done everything in the Onrak area.
That's a fair point. At this point now, though, I feel like... I feel like Edgeworth should be moving to the Green Medusas.
Well, sorry, I was gonna say, he may be doing this because it's a grind that's a little bit easier to escape the cave from.
That's fair. Well, then, if that's the case, I'm surprised he isn't going and dealing with the Iron Golem.
Now, he may be trying
then he can just leave.
He may also just be trying to work his way up to the point where he's hitting that hard. Although Chad is pointing out, he is past the point where the Mosmune's doing him any good.
Between Mazmune and Fists, these worms have low enough health that I don't think it matters.
Yeah. And I think he's going to go ahead and take this all the way to 42. Get that One Punch Man black belt, and then go finish the game.
Wouldn't surprise me. And if Czar does not figure out where he needs to go in time, Edge may run away with this at this point. Czar's checking the chests that he didn't check before. Oh no, he's going down further. He's gonna go all the way down to the bottom of this. At least we'll get to see what's in the bottom of this Darren's dungeon.
I think you're... At this point, I'm inclined to think you are right. This is going to wind up being... Actually, I think it almost has to be.
Could be Elf Castle.
It could be Elf Castle, in which case we'll find out what the Elf Prince has.
I think Elf Prince at this point has to have the herb. Has to have the cube by him. Sorry, I can talk. Oh, ew. Ew, this is another really disgusting trap tile.
Actually, no, this does have to be Elfland Castle. Because the only two locations we haven't seen are what's behind the cube lock and what is at Elfland. Oh,
wait. Is it the vampires themselves that are just hitting fast? Because I'm looking at this trap tile, and the wizard vampires are hitting for like 15-20 damage. So apparently it was the vampires that were hitting for over 100. That's silly.
But yeah, no, it has to be Elfland Castle has to be at the bottom here, because the cube can't lock itself.
True, in which case the cube has to be locking the last Czardia?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they're running from him.
Yeah, this was the problem he was going to have doing this. And Game Boy F9 with the apt observation, this is basically grinding on metal slimes.
Oh, you're right. It totally is.
But much like grinding on metal slimes, though, if you can pull it off, it's going to be worth a ludicrous amount of XP. He's almost done, though. He needs one more level, and he will have achieved his final form.
He's also almost out of heal pots.
I mean, at this stage of the thing, he just one-shot those, 700 HP iron golems.
He's taking it to 50. He's not leaving, he's taking it to 50.
Why? Edge?
Because he can. Because he's getting a level and a half per iron golem.
Okay, this is a fair point.
And if he can one-shot these iron golems, there you go, he's getting 10 hits. That's... How much experience is he gonna get from this? He's gonna get
10,000
20k experience. That's 3 levels right there.
Okay, yeah, he can just go ahead and finish this up.
Meanwhile, Zara's gonna grind out some levels on this Zombie D with Vamp Tile. Which, considering that the Zombie Ds seem to have enough health for maybe a nuke and a half, and the Wizvamps are hitting, like, not hard at all, I can see this.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. It's unfortunate that Zar... I don't know if he didn't see either of these trap tiles, because he used the warp trick and never set foot in there.
That is true. Where's Edge gonna go? Is he gonna go class change? Is he gonna go?
I mean, at this point, he doesn't need to.
True, but having extra like safety would probably be nice. And yeah, he's gonna get his party up. He might not have the class change, but at this point, why wouldn't you? If you know where it is, all you're doing is just, hey, look, my mages might not die immediately.
Does he know where it is? Did he ever, like... Zar's done a lot more deep dives than Edge has.
That's not wrong. So, we know Zar knows where it is, because I remember seeing it on his screen. Edge, I don't actually know.
Yeah, like, it may be one of those things, like, he may just never have seen Bahamut, and he may not care at this point. He's got enough life casts for insurance. His black belt is a monster now.
No, he's going away. Is he forgetting where Topher is? Oh no, he's gonna go kill Tiamat, that's why.
Yeah, he probably was having to recall that.
Oh. Allerger brought and High Spirits. Zara left the Vorpal because he's already bought 2 of them.
He's already Vorpaled out.
Yeah, he's already bought 2 Vorpals. Oh my goodness. It just went from one Sea Shrine floor to the other Sea Shrine floor.
Yeah, no, like that's the thing. This whole thing. Okay, that was the mermaid floor. I didn't recognize it with a different color palette.
Oh,
Our
it's the
pre-mermaid
Czardia.
floor.
It's the Czardia Empty Island. Oh my goodness, awful. Here we go. Warmech time.
This is not going to last very long. This is literally... We saw how little HP Warmech had. Literally, one punch and this will be over.
True.
Especially with
wow.
as many hits as about to come out.
Yeah, and that gets his mages 2 levels apiece. That's... Warmech had less than 600 and... like, had less than 700 health. That's a little silly.
It is very silly.
Wait a second. Was that a Tiamat hit? Like,
For 273 from the black belt, yes.
already fasted though? That's...
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Tiamat just apparently has a ridiculous amount of absorb.
Well, in that case, Edgeworth has hit his 4th orb. I'm surprised he's not going back for that 2nd ribbon. He knows where it is.
I mean, at this point, he may just be thinking, I've got enough M defense. I will be fine.
And at 1 hour and about 45 minutes or so, Zara looks like he's rechecking all of the spots that he's already been to because he needs to get in that ship and head to Onrak. While Edgeworth, once he gets through the bats... Good job, Bat. Good job.
Yeah. It's one of those things, this is the worst feeling in the entire game, is it's just like, did I miss a chest somewhere? And if so, where?
Yeah, that is quite the conundrum. And Zara's heading back to Mermaid Floor, but he's heading out of there because he realized he got everything. At 1 hour and about 45 minutes, Edgeworth has entered the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
And is immediately jumped by Frost Dragons, who, holy cow.
Was that Death Touch or was that just owl?
I think that was just owl. I think that was just a lot of owl.
Eee. Well, it's already some of his resources out.
Did Edgeworth re-equip his opal bracelets on his mages?
No. He's doing it now.
Yeah, I think that was the gears turning in his head of, that was a lot of damage, followed by, wait, I think I know why that was a lot of damage. Also, wow, that is really pretty.
Yeah, Temple of Fins and Fins visited with, Oh my goodness, so fun thing about Trap Tile Swap, no I, and no Phantom. Phantom is now apparently 3 Cerberuses.
Well, you know, it's kind of like the gates of the underworld being guarded by a 3-headed dog.
Yeah, you got a point. And see what I mean by this color palette making Temple of Fiends super pretty?
Yeah, no, I could see that as soon as this got started. Now I definitely see it.
Like, I need to dig up a seed where mermaids were in here, and it was gorgeous. But anyway, we are coming on the first of our... Hey, look! It's the rock golem fight! But, iron golems are on airfloor. This is the mud golem, rock golem fight, and it's not fun. Zara's just racking his brain. What have I missed? What do I need to go find? Zara, you've got to grab the ship and go to Onrak.
He'll get there eventually, just because process of elimination.
Lich has been punched for almost 2k damage and Lich goes down. Lich 2 has been obliterated, like, kind of actually, though. Not bad hero run, and Edgeworth is going to get up to, and yep, Zara's doing it, I think.
It finally clicked for him.
This is 500%. There is no such thing as overleveled. There is only prepared.
I like that Edgeworth just had everyone in his party cast fast on the assumption that Carrie can't kill everybody.
I mean, she could.
Not before the fast gets off.
No, she still could. She could still first turn nuke the 3 mages down.
His best shot would be she can't nuke she's unlikely to nuke everybody on that first shot.
I think we've finally got a party member that can slap the slap-happy Kraken. I'm surprised he's not going for memester. Well, no, this is Edgeworth. He's not doing silly things.
Okay, he is doing a silly thing. It's called this.
It's called, that was the most pitiful Kraken 2 fight I have ever seen. Especially considering last night's Kraken 2 fights. Considering last night's Kraken 2 fights, just ew. But Zar is coming onto finding his canoe. Though it might be at this point a little too late.
I mean, we still don't know what the last 2 fiends have in store. Like, if they manage to kill this black belt somehow, then I mean, Edgeworth is still going to win. But
alright, Tiamat 2's down. Oh, 10 breaths, you are bringing up an excellent point. Yes.
Oh, that's
we
right!
We have an alternative final boss.
I completely forgot about this.
So did I. Thank you, 10 breaths. I forgot about this as well. Alright, here's hoping for Warmax.
Oh god.
To be fair, the Warmicks were kind of...
Yeah, and what about the Phantom? We don't know what the Phantom does.
We don't know what the Phantom does. We could end up with 8 Girls in Chaos. Oh, it's Warwick's name one.
Well, this is going to be over in a hurry.
The Evil Men hit pretty hard. And stun touch.
Yeah, but...
And have fast.
Okay, never mind. And those were some low nuke rolls.
That was a couple of high nuke rolls, but... Okay, Warmick has Blaze. Let's see what happens. I don't think he's gonna have much problem. Oh goodness, the evil men have actually pretty high health.
Yeah, he might just have to punch his way through them.
Alright, that was not a death touch, that was just the evil men doing enough damage. Warmick has fast. Warmick is casting fast on the evil men, that's kind of silly. Alright, that's... Down to the one punch, Matt. Oh dear.
Who has to now punch his way Oh, that's a lot of damage. On both ends.
Warmick fasted 2 of these evil men. And the fasted evil men are still up.
Oh no! Oh no!
Okay, so the thing is that Warmick fasted 2 of the evil men. Those 2 evil men were still up and hitting him for about 200 damage pop.
Yeah, evil men have like 1200 HP each.
Yeah, those took like 4 like max roll nukes to kill.
Yeah,
so
that
at this
is.
point...
So at this point, Czar is still technically in this.
Oh yeah. Thing is though, he has not done the near the level grinding that Edge has already done. Oh no, Edge is running away. Where's Edge going?
He may be going to class change so that he can... No? I don't know where he's going. Oh, he's gonna go pick up some spells on his characters.
He's picking up Life 2 and Fate charges. That makes sense. Alright, and Kraken is down for Czardia. So, we still have a bit of a race in our hands. Zara's gonna get back to the Temple of Fiends, but... Oh goodness, Gators are even more disgusting than normal, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah, so if Czar decides, you know what, I know this is 500%, I don't care, and just makes that assault on Temple of Fiends, he'll only be a few steps behind Edgeworth.
Might still have to go get health pots and whatnot. So I'd say at this point, Edgeworth is still a Topher wipe ahead.
That's a fair point, but the point being, this is still going to be a lot closer than you'd expect when the phrase, yeah, one of the runners had a level 50 black belt and was the first one to TOFR.
We also have not seen Death Touch yet. Which hopefully means we won't. Now, here's the thing though. If they both end up getting into Topher at the same time, roughly, and Edge takes another wipe, Czar does have the second ribbon.
Yeah, although the ribbon's not going to do you much good when you're up against that final fight. Like,
yeah, that's not wrong.
Like, right now, you know, the thing you're hoping for is those Warmechs fast themselves.
And that you can just kill them. Because those fasted evil men were kind of gross. Hitting for what? 150, 200, 250 a pop, almost?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can handle that with a black belt that has almost 950 experience, well, 50 health. But 4 or 5 hits, 200 health a pop is still gonna drop you.
Yeah. Now, Czar is going straight into Temple of Fiends.
So at this point, it's... At this point, it is Edge's race to lose.
It is absolutely Edge's race to lose, but if Edge takes another wipe, Czar is in a position where if he makes the right series of tactical choices, he can win this.
This is nutty. What are the flags? The flags are 500% scaling on prices, enemies, and bosses, and a bunch of other crazy things, like floor shuffle, and dungeon shuffle, and all of that. So, there's also an alternate final boss, which we have seen is 2 Warmechs and 6 Evilmen. The Warmechs not super being the problem, except they have fast, and the evil men have like 1,200 health a pop. Kind of gross.
Yeah, much in the same way that, you know, the Death Star is kinda big.
Yeah, that's not wrong. Now, the one point that is being made is that Zar doesn't know what's ahead for him, so he doesn't quite know what he's getting into. Did he just pick up the slow 2 staff?
Maybe. See, here's
No,
the
that's a
thing.
good thing, though.
Well, yeah, here's the thing that is working in Zar's favor. The rest of TFR was not bad. And some of that may just be because Edgeworth was able to one-punch everything, but almost every fiend had less than like 1,200 HP.
Less than 1,000.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he actually had to two-hit any of them. But...
Okay, no, less than 1,000 was the first fiend fights, which just had stupid high absorb. But no, he one-shot all of these fiends.
Yeah, so it's one of those things, Zar is not going to be burning a lot of resources on the way down.
Alright. Kraken 2 is down again on Edgeworth's side, and he's headed to Tiamat 2. He's just gonna go straight into the fight. I can see that. Zar getting a bit stuck by the Mud Golem Rock Golem encounter. Ladies and gentlemen, Tiamat just ran away.
You gotta love morale.
Oh, dude, that is some of the funniest thing about this stuff, is that the morale can be shifted around, so Tiamat 2 could just run away. It's silly, and I love it.
Alright, so Edgeworth this time keeping his black belt up front because he is thinking he needs those group spells to stay in motion longer than he needs to be able to punch things really, really hard.
I think he's trying to get both Warmechs out before they can fast. And I think he's just done it. Alright, Warmechs are dead. Doesn't have to worry about either of them fasting the evil men. So
Now he just has... yeah.
That's kind of nice. Now he's just gotta get 2 hits down on, I think, the evil men apiece, and he should be good to go.
Yeah, he's got plenty of nuke charges to go around. He should have this. Especially because the evil men are not swinging very well this time.
They're also not hitting quite a lot. That's game.
Yep. Edgeworth has finished with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 10 seconds.
Get your GGs in chat. That was a heck of a race. Everyone, GG's in chat. Give your energy to Zar, who is trying to kill Carrie still, is not going to give up. And now, Zar is on the Kraken floor. Let's see if we can get through this really... Okay. You can get away from the really, really bad lobsters. Which weren't much to say of yesterday's either, because thunder lobsters are not fun.
Lobsters are just never fun. They always have something to just make them really annoying.
Alright, so we've got Zara coming up to the Kraken 2 fight. Let's see if we can get this. Come on, everyone, give Zara your energy. Let's get through this. He's gonna fast his black belt. He's gonna ruse the rest of the party. Oh dear!
I was looking away. What did Kraken just bust out?
2,400 and something hit.
Oh, I see. I see that now.
Yeah. I believe he'd used the Lit 2 on Edgeworth's party, which was why he got the black belt hit off. But that's... Oh dear. It's painful. It's really painful.
Now that's gonna sting a little bit. That's gonna leave a mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, Zar does not know that he doesn't need to do this much preparation. He just needs to take Kraken out.
Well, there's Kraken down, so he could still get this. He can still totally get this.
Yeah,
He
he
has
can.
life charges. He has life 2 charges.
Yeah, he can
has
pick this
6
party
life
up.
2 charges. Just no Whiz-Vamp fight on this floor. Please no.
Straight into Tiamat 2.
Let's see if he can get this.
I like his chances.
I do too. Tiamat didn't have super duper much. If I'm recalling correctly.
Yeah, and Zar's been relying. Yeah, he's been using those nuke strats the whole time, and we know that's the solution to this fight. Is you just have to kill those war mechs and evil men as quickly as you can.
Yeah. Let's hope that he goes with that instead of trying to buff the party. Because if he tries to buff the party, then he's getting a look at this fight. Though both our runners do know that the war mechs are kind of pushovers.
Yeah, and I think he's responding exactly as you'd expect to that knowledge. Nuking with everyone except the black belt who's going to fast himself.
Okay, well that's one evil man that has been fasted. Both war mechs that are dead. So the evil man that has been fasted is currently top middle on the screen. And
Yeah.
I don't know if that evil man has hit yet, and I don't think it has.
Well,
These are some low nuke rolls, unfortunately.
yeah, with that fasted black belt though, Zar knows to hit him. That is the one you punch. And he's gonna punch a different one.
Doesn't matter, because that evilman is dead with that nuke. Should be one more nuke, and they should be down.
Mm-hmm. And there we are. Zar finishing with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 42 seconds.
Wow.
All right, get those GGs into chat for Zar, and yeah, that was some shenanigans.
Oh yeah. The fact that you had to get into Onrak via the ship to get the canoe to get to Kraken via the waterfall, and yet still our runners finished 4 minutes apart. That was incredible.
And that sound means Edgeworth is joining us here in chat. Hey, Edgeworth, GG.
Thanks.
So, you go ahead.
All right. So, were you just routing interestingly, or did you have to take a little bit to remember that the floater is accessible via ship under these flags?
So I thought, as soon as I got to Crescent Lake, I'm like, hey, wait a minute, I could probably get to the floater, so let me just hit a few of these places along the way, because it's not going to give me too much of a time loss. And then, so when I found the floater, I know I got it late, or when I got the airship, I got it late, but it didn't hurt me too bad.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't hurt nearly as badly as those evil men did.
No, that was a little bit rough, and not getting fade on the white mage was definitely a mistake. But the second run went fine.
I believe that sound is Zar is also joining us.
GG Zar.
GG all, GG Edge, well played.
GG.
Yeah, how about that on-rack, huh?
Yeah, I kind of figured, as I was going through some of the list of locations, I'm like, I bet that's where everything that I need is. So let me head over there sooner rather than later.
It was later for me.
So, Zara, actually, you ended up entering Temple of Fiends Revisited not long after Edge did, because Edge took a wipe to a bunch of fasted evil men the first time around. So
Yeah, they
you
had
got,
extremely high hit points.
you got in, and Edgeworth was maybe on carry that second time?
Yeah, it came up a bit short. Lost time trying to get to Onrak. Dead last place the canoe could have been. It was there.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. That's the danger that open progression, especially extended open progression, offers. Is you can get that airship well before you get the canoe, because the airship just opens up so much, and the canoe can just wind up being in one of those places that you don't think to check once you have the airship. Without the canoe.
Yeah, it was there. What levels were your party, Edge?
Everyone was, I think, 29, and the black belt was 50.
Okay, so you soloed the black belt.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you, I don't think, saw either of these encounters, but Grey Medusas and Iron Golems were the Eye and Mage fight, respectively, on the top floor of the Ice Cave, or the top chest floor.
Okay, yeah, that would have assisted with grinding. I did find a good grind spot in Keylocked Marsh with the Grey Sharks, but Iron Golem probably worked better.
Well, you also found the trap tile of the zombie dragons and whiz vampires that I don't believe that Edgeworth found.
Yep, they had low hit points. That was a quick grind as well. Probably over-leveled a little bit, but those extra nuke charges at the end helped. I had 2 red mages, so that helped too.
Those were some of the flimsiest whiz vamps I've ever seen. It made me very happy.
Yes, it's nice to see that they can be weak from time to time.
Yeah, the Iron Goals running away was definitely upsetting. So I had to do the worm grind until I could one-shot them. That wasn't fun.
Yeah, but I mean, it worked out in the end, and everyone got to see Tiamat run away from a level 50 black belt, which is something that we've missed since we started this season of the tournament.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, as soon as he gets fasted up, no, I'm out of here.
I probably lost time early too, taking on Lich 1. It was a rather long battle.
Yeah, he had a ton of hit points.
Yeah, it was entertaining that the Fiend first fights, in a lot of ways, were harder than the second round with most of them.
Yeah.
It was paper fiends for sure. I don't think any of them had over 600-700 hit points.
Yeah, I think you're right on that point. They definitely didn't have over 1,000 because Edge was just plowing through them.
Well, it was fun, and we got the time slot in, so we didn't really see any type of gatekeeper aside from those evil men. Not bad for a 500% seed. I'll take that time.
Yeah. In any case, I think it is time that we hand things over to the magic of Scheherazade.
Well, I'd like to, real quick, thank you all for doing this. Edgedream, Edgeworth, and Czardia for racing, and Rainbow Poogle and Wote for commentating, and Randomania for allowing me to use the tracker for this.
Thank you, Randomania!
Yep, definitely give some shout-outs to them. And real quick, a $15.22 donation from the Angry Canuck